Right. Oh, how long is that left? Oh, that's right. Um, I've settled upon the one after Barbie Pink. I don't know what it's called, but it's very pink. It's pinker than Barbie Pink, in fact. Um, right. Let me see if I can do them all. Right. So the thing that I said to that dude was the one I replied to on the post on the boring group, who said, "I'm going to let you figure it out." I said to him, what was it you said to him, Mike? The bit I left out was that I'd said, "And thanks for showing me how fucking pointless it is trying to deal with issues like mine in, in day-to-day living," or something like that. Because I just thought, futile. I've asked him a plain fucking question because that was my question, because that was my issue. Not saying, "I got mental health issues." It was literally in plain English. I said, "I have trouble understanding. Can you just tell me?" How else do you fucking say it? How else do you fucking broach the subject with people? Right, that's that one. The other one was, my friend wasn't the digression. It was me getting pissy about negative male stereotypes that was the digression. That's been bugging me. That other one that I wrote to that bloke, he's still not replied, but I think it was in 2 videos I tried to get that one in. And last night I didn't remember the thing that I thought I was going to talk about. I almost did, but I didn't. And and it was nothing to do with me having an argument with society either, with someone from society. Oh, by the way, look at these. Awesome, aren't they? I wonder if I can hide them. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I remembered it. Went out to the toilet, came back, and then I thought, write them down. No need to write them down. It's that, and I forgot the big one. The big one that was the reason I went to the video. 15 minutes. And it was just, I was infuriated. I was fucking infuriated because I thought of it about 3 times today. But it was when I was talking about the schizotype and the femalicalness. But it was while I was folding my many pairs of knickers, which I actually quite enjoy doing for someone who's like really fucking hates tedious jobs, likes it tidy but hates housework. I enjoy folding my knickers and putting them into separate piles and shit like that. Which is kind of, I don't know. I think that would be like, that's a bit of an Asperger's indicator, isn't it? Which I've got loads of anyway. But obsessively collecting things and having them in like neat rows and all that sort of shit. I bet my knicker drawer is better than so many women's. Seriously. I bet I pay far more attention to my knickers as well than they do. They just pull their fucking skids on. You know what I mean? I'm sure they've got special pairs. I bet they don't keep their knickers like mine, but I bet some women put me to shame. I'd like a knicker cupboard with little tiny glass doors and little pull-out rails with individually hung little pretty pairs of knickers that can be scrolled through like you're in TK Maxx. And then just shut away again. Night, girls. I do that. I'm taking the piss, but I love it at the same time. You know what I mean? It's funny. But the thing was, it reminded me of the video that I talked about where someone was talking about schizotypal, and he said a common thing is underpants on the outside. And it's kind of like, a cynic would say that, now I'm acting out my own reality that I believe to be true anyway, and blah blah blah. It's like, hopefully I've beaten them to the punch. But no, it's the thing of it is I can't remember why they needed to wear them on the outside. I don't know if it was I'm saying they, but the common type that he was referring to. But for me, it's all about that her being seen bit, which is why I thought I'd got it in my last video. But like this, I'm getting closer and closer to something I can wear in the street, because I want to. I want to have my lingerie on display. And the fucking problem with that is you fucking lot. Because of so many people make the distinction between it being about sex. And when it's a man wearing women's stuff, there's so many people who've got that twiddly twiddly twoo fucking carry on laughing fucking attitude to it still. And so many people haven't really got it. Yeah, that means you fucking have, and it ain't going nowhere when you say it like that. When you're only joking. No, you're fucking not. No, you're fucking not. And like, I guess, like, to be fair, this is pretty fucking revealing. And if I was dancing in the summer, could maybe be seen as I was being a little bit pervy. I wouldn't be. I'd be kind of cusping it and knowing that. But the thing is, that got me onto another point that I was thinking about in the car earlier. That when someone called me confident, I'm like, yeah, I probably would. I was musing over the fact that I dared myself to say that you'd wear that in fucking Tesco's, and I was like, would I actually? Because I kind of would, but like I would, yeah, but when you're turning up on your own in your car and you're just getting some shopping, like, I'm extreme enough for a lot of people. Some people go, as I walk around the corner. It depends how bright I am, but I can make people sort of mildly jump just at my appearance. And then if it was this, it's all sort of dan. Do you know what I mean? And people have got their stereotypes. I'd fucking love to, but I know that the slightest bit of persecution would have me really fucking frightened. And that's the shit where it's not about confidence anymore. And suddenly people would say that's a lack of confidence. It's like, no, it's those deep fucking seated automatic buttons that go off like fireworks now. That used to be manageable, but now go off like fireworks. They've got stronger than they ever were. Just think of all of your teenage angst and fears and childhood worries. But this time they're monsters. That. Pretty much. Yeah, you know, I have had quite a lot of fucking kick-ins. I've had quite a lot of kick-ins. I'd say more than average. Probably fair more than average, and some fucking frightening ones. And some off the back of loads of mistrust and bullshit and the usual bullshit that humans do. So those stuff were all sewn into me years ago. You know, it's kind of like if you got kicked in, you know that some people would say you're kind of asking for it. I don't know if we still live in that world. Maybe 20 years ago, people would have said that, like, oh, come on, you can't expect. So again, you're wearing something, someone else thinks you're expecting something. They've already put a fucking label on you. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. People say that, so often. Oh, come on. Come on, what? Play up to the stereotype? Conform to the fucking norm? That's what you mean. Some of us can't. A lot of us can't. Out of fucking tune. Even when I try to be in tune, I'm fucking miles off key. I'm worse off key. I'm more off key when I try to be in key. That's why I started saying stop expecting normal from me. If you're expecting me to be normal, then I'll be really weird. You just kind of expect anything, and then I'm not. But like, yeah, what am I up to? 9/11. Yeah, like I went live today. Like, I haven't DJ'd for a while. I haven't enjoyed DJing. I really wanted to for quite a few days. And I did want to. I waited until I wanted to. But I was dying to fucking dress like this and have it seen. Again, her. Me. Me, she. She, me. Mike, she. That could get tacky quickly. But yeah, like, more sort of statement shit. Ram it down your fucking throat. Fucking need to. Need to shout it. Don't care. We all cope with lockdown differently. I'm shouting this shit. I'm taking fucking risque pictures and putting them on Facebook. I've taken a lot worse. I've taken a lot worse. I've taken some very like slightly pervy ones, because they're fun, and it's like it's a part of me. It's a part of me. It's kind of weird. Am I embarrassed? No, because I'm going to put it on the internet, so I can't really be. I have admitted to saying that I want to fucking finger myself on the internet. Well, I don't want to finger myself on the internet. I admitted to wanting to finger myself on the internet. Several times, in fact. It's out there now. Now it can't hurt me. That was the principle behind. Actually, it's one of my 5 core principles. It is. It was the principle behind that big post that I refer to often. Just like all of the shit I'm scared of people knowing, and all the shit that I feel inside that I'm frightened about. Right, just fucking tell him. Just fucking tell him then. Here are the weapons with which to destroy me. Congratulations, they are now useless. Take aim! I didn't write that. I thought of it afterwards and thought, that's fucking pretentious. But it's true. It's the principle behind it. It's fucking true. Definitely. What am I up to now? 11:40. Right. Yeah, so that's cleared everything up. I think it was just the bits that, like, again, that over-explaining part. Someone commented on that on the boring group earlier, and my reply was, it was just one of her things that there's lots of detail you're giving there. She was asking me questions, so I'm answering her, and they said, oh, that's a lot of details. Like, I gave you the details you asked for. You're the one asking a lot of bloody questions. But my reply to the lots of detail, like, lots of detail should be unsurprising by now. Because this woman's messaged me on about 5 or 6 of my posts, I think now. 3 or 4, I don't know, but quite a few. I recognise her name. I know what we've talked about. And she's replying sort of fairly consistently and with a lot of info in there. So lots of detail. You shouldn't be surprised by that by now. Your point is, basically, it's a polite way of saying and your fucking point is. It's just me answering a question. That's what I wrote to her. You ask the question, you got an answer. Lots of detail is what I do. That's how I talk. But it bugs me. It bugs me if I've said something that's untrue. There is another one that I've said that's untrue recently. I can't fucking remember what it is, but it's a mismemory. And I've said, no, it didn't happen that way around. But I did warn you about that about 1,000 videos ago. So I can't really be blamed. I don't know what video it's in. I've fucking made hundreds of these now. Must be thousands. I think I'd made, in the first like 3 weeks or something, I'd made, oh my God, a couple of hundred or something like that. I haven't even fucking looked. I don't even fucking care. I rarely watch them back. Even like people comment on one from a year ago, I start watching it and I think, I don't want to. Just not interested. A lot of the time. Anyway, that's not really interesting, but I did remember all of my things, and I did remember the point about the knickers being on the outside. That's my like communication of it. For me, it's now that was my like final point. It's like, on paper, it's a schizotypal thing. I am now more typical schizotypal by wearing my knickers on the outside or wanting to display my underwear. That's apparently a schizotypal thing. I think, well, I've found a way around of doing it. But for me, it's about expressing, by shouting my femininity. But it's always as a man. That's the thing. There's another one that I'd forgotten about. It's always, in a lot of people's eyes, it detracts, subtracts, takes away from your masculinity by accepting any level of femininity. And I don't agree with that. I'm still fundamentally male. I always will be. But there's girliness within. There is a girl in me, and she's a dirty bitch. That was totally her that said that. But that's just part of it. It's part of accepting the authenticness of who you are and however that's expressed and just being it. But it's really fucking hard to do that. when you're this like controversial or inappropriate or not quite fitable for the rest of society. So, you know, tough. It's going to get louder probably. But anyway,